Dads with daughters, would you rather have your daughter be in the woods, like little daughter in the woods with a bear, or a man? Maybe asking it this way will allow men some extra perspective of what women are saying, because stitch this and not show me that you're emotional about having to make that decision. That if her life depended on it and you had to choose one, the bear or the man, which would you choose? And I think your answer can absolutely make other men who just are so oblivious to what women are saying now understand.
Sensational. Sensational.
All right. Welcome back to another episode. This is Mike Perkins, aka Michael B. Podden, aka Me So Corny, aka Michael the Man Bun Mike. All right. So you saw the clip in the beginning. It's kind of been going crazy on TikTok. The bear or man, if you're in a forest question. If you heard the lady in the beginning, she tried to frame the question, who would you leave your daughter around? And I get the point of what women are trying to say. I think they're trying to say that they're trying to use hyperbole as a means to bring awareness to bad men who may commit heinous crimes, violent offenses against women, and etc. I think that where women miss the mark, and tend to miss the mark a lot of times, is that you're doing this at the expense of logic. The idea that you would rather be around a bear in the forest than be around a random man, and the average man or the average bear, I think that was the original question. You would rather be around the average man, the average bear rather, over the average man is probably, like, it's among the dumbest things that I've heard women say, frankly. But it's so illogical that it doesn't even deserve responses. What it does deserve is for men to just say, okay, if you really believe that, then just don't be around men. Just don't be around men. Oh yeah, I hear you. That's wonderful. Ha ha ha. Just don't be around men. Just stay away from men. You know? Because I would ask these same women, are you fucking? Are you? Because if you're fucking, then I don't know that men are that scary. Because you're fucking. You know? Black women in particular who have answered this question have really lost their fucking mind, because they fuck thugs. Are you fucking? Is Thuggo knocking it out? Is Thuggo choking you? Y'all procreate with criminals. Prison TikTok is a thing. Really? Prison TikTok on the same app. Prison TikTok exists. Whereas you go to the criminals. Like, it's not even serious at this point. You know, the level of, you know, just, I don't know, just utter disbelief. Like, if you're trying to say that there are some men out here who are Ted Bundy or freaking Jeffrey Dahmer or whatever, I get it. There's some guys out there that are crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the average man does not commit crimes. The average man does not, you know, violently or sexually, assault women. The average man just doesn't do that. Most of us don't do that. Most of us are not criminals. By and large, men in America, and black men in particular, have laws against our degeneracy, laws that prohibit us from being violent, laws that prohibit us from being any of the things that, this question is implying that we are. Now, conversely, and I'll get to my point. Conversely, we don't really have that for women. Like, women don't have to wear their consequences, of which it really allows women to kind of hide behind the fact that they don't have to wear their consequences. For example, I wouldn't leave, by the same logic, I wouldn't leave my daughter around a woman either in the woods, because women could commit what is called filicide, whereas they'll kill their own kid. Well, why would I leave my kid around some woman if... Right. Women, because we must not care about what women do, when these women teachers are sexually, graping, when they're graping these boys, when they're teachers, I wouldn't leave my kid around no woman in the woods. By this logic, by the way, by the logic that you all are using, I wouldn't leave my kid around these women. You know how many women are leaving their kids at home so they can go to the club, and leaving their kids at home so they can go to Miami, leaving their kids in the car so they can go strip, leaving their kids in the freezer because they just don't want to have kids anymore. Like, I wouldn't leave my kid, by your logic, by the way, because bears don't do this. I wouldn't leave my kids around no woman. I wouldn't leave my daughter around no woman. Women who off kids before they're born. I don't want to leave my kid around a woman who thinks that that's okay. You don't even believe some of these motherfuckers deserve to be alive. I mean, I wouldn't want to leave my daughter around no woman who would do that. By your logic, of course. Like that, it doesn't work, because outside of the murdering of kids, before they're born, the other stuff, although it happens, is just not ultimately that common. It's not as common as women who don't do that. But it's in the news like every day. And this is what's so crazy, and to my earlier point, they don't give these women that much time for sexual assault on kids. They just don't give them that much time. Like, they be getting single digits. Of course, they have to register as sex offenders, of course. But you think a woman with a teaching degree who has to register as a sex offender is not going to come out and make $70,000 in some clerical job and live her regular life? Of course, in no school zones, obviously. She's not going to be able to live by school. But do you think that woman is not going to be, she's going to be okay? If you're a dude and you're a registered sex offender, your life is over. Your life is effectively over. Women don't have to wear their consequences, which is why we don't register them as threats. But you're just as much of a threat to kids, if not more, because of postpartum, than men are. No way is a man as potentially dangerous to a kid as a woman is. The same women in America that want the ability to off a kid. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to do it, but I think you should sit out when it comes to who's more potentially dangerous to the kids. It ain't the men. There are no numbers to support that. the original conversation about whether or not you would want to be in a forest with a bear or in the forest with the average man, I think that's clearly you should want to be in the forest with the man, because the man has like reason and logic, you know, it has empathy. The average man does, whereas a bear he just sees you and you're there, and you might die immediately. And there's a guy who said, a bear will just eat you alive, which means really you kind of hope he eats your head first, because if he starts eating like your legs because you're trying to get away, and he starts eating your legs first, or starts eating your arm first, or some part of you that won't kill you immediately, then really, 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 you're going to feel it all. I don't know, man. I just think a lot of these conversations are really, really getting out of hand. And it's really showing that women are like running out of shit to say. They're running out of shit to say. They're running out of reasons to say that men are horrible people. Because we're not actually horrible people. We're actually mostly decent human beings. Again, obviously, there's some dudes who need to probably get it together. But for the most part, man, we're decent human beings, and we're being told that everything we do is just wrong somehow. So you're not gonna guilt and shame and insult men into doing what you want. You're not gonna guilt and shame us to the point of making it, we have to, protect these women, and we need to hold these men accountable. Yeah, the law does that. The law does that. What we need to start doing is holding women accountable, because they aren't getting consequences for their poor behavior, like paternity fraud and contraceptive sabotage, poking holes in condoms, and all of that stuff. But that would be my time, man. Thanks for all the subscribers and the likes and the shares and the comments. Y'all keep doing that. Get the likes to liking, and get the subscribers to subscribing and whatnot. I appreciate you, man. This is Mike Perkins, and I am out.